Yes.
right? Or it comes down to a direct flight. So, for example, I flew out of Orlando when I went to Costa Rica because it was nonstop. Um, so there's no point in not driving the extra half hour between Gainesville and Orlando, right? If I have to go to Atlanta, for example, first, and it's always and Gainesville's almost always more expensive than flying out of Orlando. It's just you're flying out of Orlando and you have to deal with all the 3-year-olds that are screaming because their parents don't know how to control.
Which is why,
Right,
which is
right,
why
Tom.
I, oh,
Right.
100%, 100%, which is why I prefer Tampa. And I'll tell you why.
Sure.
For about 10, 11 years of my life, I was married to a rich woman, a rich woman. And so I was able to do what I wanted to do by playing golf every day of the week or, playing poker. And I traveled around the country and got a designation. I don't know why they give it to you. Harris gave it to me as a professional poker player. And all that meant was I got to travel around the country and sit at poker tables all day and drink alcohol and play cards. I mean, okay, I'm a pro at that, whether I do that at the casino or not. So I traveled around quite a bit, and I got to the point where I flew in and out of Tampa because you didn't have 3-year-olds screaming and crying. When you come back from Vegas, you're taking that flight back from Vegas. You've been in Vegas 4 days. The last thing you want is those kids that are in Vegas that parents are taking them to Disney World. You don't want
Yeah.
that, so you fly into Tampa. You don't fly into Orlando.
Sure. Sure. No, and I'm kind of kidding, but anybody who's traveled on Southwest out of Orlando, just hold on. It'll be one of the longest flights
I
of your life
promise you,
because
the travel into Orlando to me was always worse than the travel out because the kids
oh,
are so
absolutely
excited to get to Disney World.
correct, correct.
Oh,
And the problem with Southwest is that you can't really control your seat, and it feels like all parents want to sit as close to the entrance as possible,
to get the hell off the
right?
plane.
So and again, I have a lot of ideas because I used to fly a lot. I have a lot of ideas on how to improve air travel. Um, and when you watch people who sit in the first row and they're battling with their check-on bag that there's no way in God's green earth that this is ever going to fit because they can't fight the laws of physics, but they keep pounding it and
I
pounding it.
know. It's the
It
dumbest
drives me
thing.
nuts. And then you got it at the time. A guy
Bro,
like me
that's
or
4 inches
but
too big. It ain't even close.
and we're professionals, right? We are good at this. We know exactly what we're doing. I can get my bag in the overhead compartment and sit down in less than 45 seconds, right? To me, I prided myself on that. And then you've got, this family of 7, and the dad's just trying to get through it. I don't blame anyone. It's just terrible for everyone. So,
I got so good at traveling that all I carried with me was me. I would literally ship my suitcase 2 days
oh,
before I left.
absolutely.
I would ship my suitcase 2 days before I left, general delivery to the hotel I was staying at. So I could
Sure,
pick it up at the
sure,
counter, and I would travel in a pair of
absolutely.
basketball shorts, a
Yeah.
T-shirt, and flip flops. You want to
Well,
strip
I
search?
always like to
You want
have
to
a
strip?
backpack.
You want to strip search me? Once the shorts come off, pal, that's all you're getting.
Well, I am a backpack
I would have
guy
a backpack
because
because that's
I'll
where
have
you
my
take your snacks and everything.
yeah, yeah, and your tablet and your water and
Yeah,
I would always
but a
you've
backpack's
gotta
easy. It's
have
just
a
on you.
absolutely, but you're also not a security threat at this point. Nobody's looking at you going, I really need that bag. Um, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. And if I was going somewhere for more than 5 days, um, and I was traveling for Life South and I was going to a different one of our regions, I would ship my bag on
Yeah,
our own Life South plane, and they'd be like, "What is this?" I'm like, "Don't worry about it. Just put it on the
just
damn
put it on the
plane."
plane. It's going. It knows where it's going,
Yeah,
and you can always tell. And professional travelers have a mutual respect of each other because you know that you know
correct.
what you're doing. And I was always you
Absolutely.
can see in the line in the TSA line, anybody that opened their carry on that was a small carry on that you knew was going to fit, and you looked in there and they had about 8 different sets of outfits and they were all rolled up, they were rolled tight and
Sure.
everything. You were like, that's a
Sure.
professional. They know what they're doing. Move on. You
Sure.
know. People that in the TSA line are holding their belt in their hand. That's a professional. Keep moving.
Correct. My shoes are off.
Yeah.
My ID and my ticket are in my left hand. Let's just get through this. And again, I've traveled with small kids on flights. It's brutal, right? And the smaller they are, the harder it is.
Well, yeah, their ears are popping and everything. They're in pain from their ears and everything. It's just.
I don't know how. And you see these videos of these parents just doing everything they can to keep their mask on their child so they don't go to jail and be banned from flying for the rest of their life because their 18-month-old is strong, right? And it's just torturous, and now we know that masks don't have any impact at all, especially on an airplane. That's a different thing.
I will tell you one of the funniest things I ever did, but the lady didn't think it was funny, neither did her kid. But the guy sitting next to me goes, "That's genius. I'll try that." And the flight attendant goes, "While I don't condone your language, it was effective." Because there was a kid kicking the back of my seat, right? He's just kicking it. And I'm flying to the L.A. Commerce Casino. So I'm flying from Tampa to Los Angeles nonstop.
That's a long flight.
Nonstop.
Yeah,
4 hours and 53 minutes was the flight time. I remember it like it was yesterday. And the kid's kicking my seat. We're about 30 minutes in. We're still over the Gulf. The kid's kicking my seat. He's kicking my seat. So I turn around and I just look at him and I go, the last kid that sat in that seat, I heard he kicked the guy in front of his seat so much that the guy broke both his arms. The mom goes, "What kind of thing is that to say to my kid?" I go, "He broke both the mom's arms too." They shut up. The kid quit kicking my seat. His mom put her arm across his leg. Stop kicking. The stewardess, the flight attendant thought it was funny. She's like, I really should tell you can't threaten passengers. I go, I didn't threaten anybody. I just said the last person that sat in this seat broke the kid's arms and his mom's arms. But there was no more kicking. The rest of the flight to L.A., there was no more kicking.
No. And again, air travel is for the brave. But I have rules in place as to when I.
Well, it's a police state. First off, the airport's a police state. Can we just agree with that?
But again, I disagree.
But if you follow the rules, it's not hard at all.
It's not a police state. It is a very controlled environment because, and the problem is when you look at the business travelers, they don't make up a large portion on the day in, day out basis of the travelers. And so you have a lot of people who are very scared, and then you get, it's probably 25% of the people are so frightened they're going to die. Right? This is the flight that they're going to die. And then you got 25% that are pretty much hammered. And then you got 25% where, it's the professional, like, look, I just want to go home.
Head down, walking through the airport.
Right. And the other 25% are large groups. And you don't know what they're bringing. It could be a bachelor party. It could be a bachelorette party. It could be a family. It could be a reunion. And those are the people you got to be away from. Right? When you're identifying where you're going to sit, especially on Southwest.
They're the one doing the singing on the plane and everything.
You've got, at all costs, not sit by one of them, right? Because they will tell you their whole mission of this trip. You got to avoid that. Stay away from them, right? You keep your head down. You avoid eye contact. You break out your book as soon as you possibly can, and you get immersed in it. You put headphones in. I don't care if you're not listening to anything. You avoid, because you don't want to hear about their troubles, because especially if it's more than 2 hours, you're going to know who they hate and who they're dreading to see, and who's pregnant and everything else. You don't need that.
There's a Ted Stryker on every plane.
Exactly. You want to avoid Ted Stryker.
You want to
avoid Ted Stryker.
Or carry your own gas can so you can blow yourself up.
That's correct. And especially if they have a drinking problem.
Oh,
and we have issues.
You got a drinking problem. It's terrible. Or if you pick the wrong week to stop sniffing model glue, that could be an issue.
Oh, that's on the That's on the ground. That's on the air traffic controller.
Hey,
solved that
the
problem.
storm's getting bigger
By the
and
way-
Russell's getting larger.
Would you agree that Ronald Reagan probably used the airplane and what it did for air traffic controllers
Oh yeah. Oh
to
yeah.
his advantage?
Oh yeah. One of my favorite. Again, it's a great movie. One of my favorite movies is, what can you make out of this? Well, I can make a hat, a brooch, a flying pterodactyl.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic. That guy's so good. On his own, he would be terrible. But yeah, it's just such a great. It's a perfect comedy movie. I've said it's a great.
And if you've ever been a professional traveler, you know exactly what's going on that airplane.
Oh yeah.
Exactly what's going on. Everything you see in that movie Airplane, all the violent reactions and the way people want to act, that's how a professional traveler wants to act on an airplane. You just know you can't. But that's how you want to.
That's well, especially now, they'll just arrest you.
And then I bought, I was the guy that I spent the money and bought the so I didn't have to go through the whole TSA line. I went through the quick TSA.
Absolutely.
Oh.
Yeah.
So much better, where they've
that.
already screened you and everything. Oh, it's so much better.
Yeah.
Your bag goes in, they do an X-ray. There's that's a hairdryer, not a gun. Keep it moving.
I will tell you, when we went to Costa Rica, part of our package that we did, and when I travel, sometimes I'm like, look, I don't want to worry about anything. I want somebody to basically get me everywhere I need to go, so I don't need to make any travel type decisions. We got met at the airport at Orlando. We were escorted through a security system, and then we got met at the plane as we got off the plane, and somebody walked us through customs, and they already had our bags. I'm like, this is fantastic. And my youngest son said, Dad, how can you afford this? Don't worry about it, son. It's your future.
Yeah,
it was great.
we can afford it.
We
can afford it because you have no inheritance.
That's right. That's right. You better get a scholarship because college is expensive.
Costa Rica just ate your college.
Yeah, but again, especially internationally, and I found out afterwards, a lot of these travel services offer that. So if you're going to travel international, I would encourage it. You're not getting it that at LaGuardia, by the way, or Heathrow.
No, but if you're traveling international, you gotta make customs and all as easy as possible. You just have to. We got to take a break.
I tipped that guy so well. He was a happy dude. I'm like, look, you don't know how much easier he made my life.
Gratuity's everything. We'll be right back.
Here you go. And then he hit me on the way back. Did the same thing. It was even better.
There you go. We'll be right back after this timeout on Ocala Talks, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source. Are you wasting time boxing up packages and going to the post office or the UPS store? Are you tired of not knowing what you'll pay when you get there? Just Ship offers pickup service and flat rate packaging and postage rates, which takes the guesswork out of shipping while saving you time and money. So quit wasting valuable time and money. Call or text Just Ship at 352-234-3840. That's 352-234-3840. Just Shipped.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
Are you or your loved one being released from a hospital and wondering how you'll manage? Inform your physician that you want to go to Palm Garden of Ocala at 2700 Southwest 34th Street for your rehabilitation. Palm Garden provides pain management, post-discharge follow-up, diabetic care, psychosocial support, and so much more. Plus, they even offer outpatient rehab. This award-winning care facility has a team of licensed professionals dedicated to enhancing your independence. Call 352-854-6262 today.
The Ocala Golf Club, one of Ocala's premier golf courses, from its pristine 18-hole course layout to its amazing pro shop. Jason Linhart and the staff at Ocala Golf offer everything that you need for your golf outing. That's the Ocala Golf Club. Experience country club style golf at municipal prices. You won't go wrong with the Ocala Golf Club. Call them for a tee time today, 352-401-6917.
You're having another great day and you have good taste tuning into WOCA The Source with Ocala Talks and Tom Schmitz. Well, 1 out of 2 isn't bad.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks. On a Friday, Galen Unoff from Life South joins us. Galen, there's a story out of Inglewood, California. I don't know if you saw this or not, but over the weekend of the Rams-49ers NFC Championship game, about midway through the first quarter, there was a 911 call made that said a man was bleeding in the parking lot of SoFi Stadium. 20 minutes later, ambulance had arrived. The man is in a coma now. There was, I guess, a fight in the parking lot. The police responded at 7 p.m. The original call came in at 4:30. The police responded at 7 p.m. to the emergency room of the hospital, not even to where the incident took place. Then they started investigating, but all they have is a videotape of a guy in a yellow jersey with no facial, they can't see his face, pushes the guy. The guy turns around, he punches him in the face, he falls, hits his head on the concrete, hence the coma. But it's starting to raise concerns that SoFi Stadium is in the middle of Inglewood, California, not the best city in California. And is it going to be safe to go to this Super Bowl? A lot of people are worried that now with this incident plus the response time of the Inglewood Police Department, can they even secure your safety at this Super Bowl?
Well, and again, is anybody really surprised by this of what we're seeing out of California?
No.
You know, I've lived there. Gosh, it's been a really long time ago. But when I lived there, everybody in America wanted to be in California. It's such a mass exodus, and it's for things like this.
By the way, the city of Inglewood didn't even announce that this had happened until yesterday morning at a press conference.
Well, that's the only reason they don't always announce every crime. They just announce the ones that people care about, and this will become a bigger issue. And again, I think it's a concern. What you'll have is, and this is the way it will go, you will have more and more private security at these events, and private security will grow, whereas the actual police departments will not. And because what it means is the rich will be fine, and us poor folk, well, they can eat cake.
Well,
right?
exactly.
And that's what LA has become. It's the haves and the have-nots. And if you have, then you have the means to get out, or you have the means to protect yourself. Because you can't own a gun.
Wait, hold on.
In most of these cities.
But hold on, Galen. If L.A. and Hollywood and all this area is the have and have-nots, and most of the haves are wealthy actors who are also, most of them, liberal-minded, I thought the have and have-nots were the Republicans' problem. I thought liberals wanted the have-nots to get money in it. I'm confused.
Yeah, it's going to be, again, I think this election in the midterms is going to be pretty fascinating. And again, I think every election has repercussions. I'm not going to sit here and say it's the most important election of all time, because I've always felt that was kind of a dumb thing to say. But it's important. I mean, you look at what New York's doing. They're gerrymandering. They're at all the gerry in Florida. Just with the Supreme Court, everybody does it. I know it's a mess. I can't stand it. Just vote by county. They're trying to draw these lines, and that's what's creating these problems. By the way, like Inglewood, they want to make sure that they maintain that power, and so they really don't care what the impact of their laws are, as long as they maintain the power, because they have enough money and means to protect themselves. So that's really where we're at.
Well,
common sense is gone.
It kind of reminds you, but doesn't this incident remind you of the San Francisco Giants fan that got beat up at Dodger Stadium and was
that was a little different. I mean, that was just a brawl. Well, a brawl. And, this one, I haven't seen the video. Well, the video I saw wasn't very clear. I don't know if there's a better video of the guy walking away.
There is not,
I saw the one where you did, and it's like you can't really tell what happened. Was it just two guys who got in an argument? That's not the problem. The problem is that you don't know when the 911 call was exactly made.
Yes, I do now. The 911 call was made at 4:33 p.m.
Did they announce that?
4:33 p.m. It was done anonymously. It was done anonymously. It was about a half hour into the NFC Championship showdown, yet it remains unclear who made the call, and it ultimately resulted in him being found. But then the police responded, the ambulance responded, but the police didn't even start their investigation until around 7 p.m. after emergency room personnel noted possible assault injuries and summoned officers.
Not good. Not good. Again, it's a policing issue. And now you got Biden who's going to New York saying, "Oh, I support the police." You do? Okay, I guess now that you don't have an election for 3 years, you do. But you sure as heck didn't support it when you were running.
All I know is Antifa doesn't support the cops, and when you go to Antifa.com, it takes you right to the Democratic National Committee's website. That's all I know.
Sure.
And Joe Biden is the leader of the Democratic Party, correct?
Yeah. And again, I thought, why are we still bombing terrorists? I thought the threat was gone when we pulled out of Afghanistan. You know, we're still bombing people in Syria.
Well, he's got to look good to Russia. He's got to look strong to Russia.
Well, yeah, and then we have this Olympics that is going on, and I won't watch a single minute of it.
We'll talk about we got the Olympics to talk about. We got about 45. We got about 45 seconds till we go to break. But the Olympics, not only we need to talk about the Ocala connection to the Olympics, but the drunk vodka pill woman from California, you know, the Speaker of the House, she weighed in on the Olympics too. Wait till you hear what this brainiac said. We'll do all of that next. We're talking with Galen Unoff from Life South.
I will say this. We're getting our butts kicked internationally, though, right now, on a foreign policy. Just butts kicked.
We'll talk more about that after this timeout. You're listening to Ocala Talk. Galen Unoff from Life South joins us. Thanks to the good folks at Penn Flooring, Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center, and Just Ship. We'll be right back after this short timeout on 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, WOCA, The Source.
Broadcasting from the Ocala International Airport, this is WOCA AM, W242CA FM, Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
USA Radio News with Lance Pry.
The crisis at the border, according to a new admission from Vice President Kamala Harris, the problem is the fault of Congress. Former Border Patrol Chief Ron Vitello on Fox News says Biden's border policy is inviting illegal immigration.
You know, when this president took over, we had record lows of activity on the southwest border. And in just a little over a year, it's blown up. That border is busier than it's ever been before.
Multiple law enforcement sources are reporting Border Patrol agents patrolling the Rio Grande Valley sector were fired upon from across the Mexican border on Wednesday. The Special Operations Group, part of the Border Patrol Tactical Operations, were shot at from beyond the border and then returned fire. It's being reported nobody on either side was hit. The Winter Olympics are now underway in Beijing, China, and surrounding area. The games end February 20th. USA.